Last couple of days we've been moving logs and cutting slabs, and it's hard work. Now we do have the tractor here, which is a great help. What would make life a little easier if I had some forklift or pallet lifting tines. So I'm going to make a set of those to help us lift these planks around and perhaps help lift some pallets and things like that. So anything that saves us a bit of that hard back lifting labour is welcome around here. Like a lot of the projects I do, I'm just going to be using what I've got. Now, these were given to me a number of years ago by a friend of mine, and I'll be using these. It's about 5mm thick. That's 75 by, looks like about 30mm. Oh, I love my bandsaw. Here we go, here we go. Just going to cut out some of the parts that I need, and I actually got to join some pieces together. That's okay. It's probably worth mentioning at this stage for those who are new to the channel, my workshop's all off grid, so it's run by lithium batteries and solar power, so I'm not connected to any grid services at all. We're out in the Australian bush. We've had the property for around about 2.5 years. We've built everything up from scratch, the shed and our cabin, and there's a lot of work. There's still a lot of setting up to do. With this shed, I've got power on the walls in about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places. Nothing on that side and nothing coming down. So I kind of figured that I need to work out where my machinery is going to go permanently. So I'm just trialing error, and then I'll run power up and drop it down to each machine. Like at the moment, I'd like to have power right there at the grinder, but I've got to run extension leads across the floor until I decide. Hopefully I decide soon. Need to lengthen this piece with this one here, so I've chamfered it at 45 degrees and it's going to attach there. I'm going to use this as a little bit of a guide to help me keep it straight as I weld the two pieces together. But before I do that, I'm just going to close this off here, create a little end cap. For this weld I'm using 0.9 inner shield, so flux cord wire. There's no gas required, there's no shroud on here. Just going to mark out the hole here for my centres. Alright, so this doesn't have to be precision at all. The hole's going to be, got a pen in my mouth, the hole's going to be for this bolt here. So I want the bolt just going through, and I want to be able to weld that nut on the inside. So if I put it around about there, that'll work for me. So that's a hole cutter. It's 18mm, so if you want your bits to last, go up into your drill speeds inside your drill, or you can look them up online. There should be a nice little handy dandy chart up there. So I've got a 16, this is 16mm, it's the highest it goes size wise, and I'm using mild steel, so I'm going to be using the slower speed. So I'm just going to change my belts around here. It's a bit hard to film it and do it at the same time. Small to big, small to big. Here we go. Nice and slow, and I'll use some cutting fluid for it as well. So here we are, we're set up, we've changed the belt speed. Now I've center punched the job here, so there's this needle point on the drill and it just rides inside that center point, center punch. So I'm just going to add a little bit of cutting fluid here. I use Trefolex. That's spread around. I must have got maybe 1,000 questions on what are these hole cutters here. Hewen or Horn roto cut. So if you Google roto cut sheet metal hole cutters, you'll see this brand come up, and then you'll see these guys. They're great, really good. Okay. Now I have ground off the galvanizing from this nut here because, like everyone tells me, it's a poisonous gas, the galvanizing smoke that comes off it. So now I need to put another hole through the top up here to allow for that bolt to go. But let me just get this nut welded first. Oh, I think my hot water system is on at the moment. Well, it is. My hot water system's on because I've set the timer and I've used the welder, so I've overloaded my inverter. It'll just turn on automatically. Oh, another hot day. I just sucked down some lunch, bit of fried rice. Time to get back onto it now. You can see that the gap, I'm looking for the even gap more than anything else. Let's give it a trial. My spanner's probably too big to get under there. I probably should have made this just a little bit higher. I could have done that. I'll go get another spanner. Oh, you got to love confession time now. The gap that I got between the tractor bucket and a spanner is too small, or one of my solutions is I could just put a nut on the top up here, and then I can just do it up much easier at the top. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to weld the nut on to the top of the bolt. Before I clean it all up and paint it and all that jazz. Can't have it looking too flash. I've been using these forklift Tynes here for the tractor bucket for about 6 months. I filmed this ages ago, and I've been using them moving logs around and planks, and moving the generator around, which is about 180 kilograms. So overall, just wanted to say they work really well for my circumstances, and you've got to use something like this within the limitations of your tractor and your bucket and your front end loader attachments. So this one here can lift something like 300 kilograms, 350 kilograms I think on the front. So it's a good sized one. So, but just got to keep it in mind and be smart when you do your lift. You can't lift like a forklift can, and it's obviously not solid tines, they're hollow. But all in all, for me around here, very happy, glad I made them. So if you've hung around and watched the video, I appreciate it. Thank you. I will see you in the comments, and we'll get into the next project and get that one underway. So see you next time.